women's locally and internationally do very important work from an organization that has helped and empowered women over the years. From Zonta Club 3, Colombo, joining us today are Farida Alibhoy and Kamini Senaratne. Hi Kamini, hi Farida, and
Hello.
thank you for joining us.
It's okay.
So tell me a little bit more about the Zonta Club.
It's a global organization where it's a conglomeration of, say, like-minded professionals from diverse backgrounds, and we have come together with a purpose, that is to empower women through advocacy and service. So we have been there for 103 years as of the 8th of November 2022. We started in 1919 in Buffalo, New York, and this is where a couple of business ladies got together and established the Zonta Club, and since then we have come a very long way. We have clubs in 63 countries, over 1,100 clubs worldwide, and approximately 27,000 membership. So we are basically, what's interesting is that we are a group of mostly consisting of women, professional women who work for women. So that's, I think, is the uniqueness of the Zonta Club worldwide, Zonta International. So Zonta International has, what do you say, they have causes, which is like an umbrella for all the clubs in the world. So we have, one of the causes is basically ending child marriages, and the other one is empowering women. The other one being, the most important, I presume, is to say no to violence against women and girls. So we are working, all of us are working hard on these objectives in our own little way, club-wise, district-wise, area-wise rather also, and district-wise. So we are working hard towards it in our own little way, trying to make a difference in the world, and as Zonta says, to make a better world for women and girls.
Now, you have a lot of ongoing projects regarding women and gender-based violence. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Actually, when you talk about gender-based violence or violence against women, the most important fact is your knowledge. If you have knowledge on the subject, you have power. You know what to do, you know what not to do. You know when you're violated and you know when you're not. So it's on this subject, but we are focusing on advocacy. So we have been right throughout, not only our club, all the clubs in the world, especially during the activism period for violence against women, from starting very soon, from the 25th of November to 10th of December. We have, all the clubs have their own programs, and especially Zonta Club 3 of Colombo, we have been having workshops on awareness. Basically, we have got some eminent lawyers in the field, the Women and Children's Bureau, and we go and educate ladies basically, and sometimes even men, because they need to know how not to step into another person's privacy level. So these are important things that we are trying to do. So advocacy wise, actually we are a little excited this time around also. We are trying to do an awareness program in the Slave Island area. We are trying to the community ladies get involved in an entire day's program. We are talking about how to advocacy, how to be aware of being away from, getting away from violence against themselves. And the facts are alarming actually. If we might ask, what's the relevance? This is something I used to ask myself some time back. What's the relevance of violence against women here in Sri Lanka? We don't hear much about all this. But the thing is, actually 1 out of every 5 women are either sexually or physically violated by their partners. But the most alarming in my view is that 1 out of every 4 women have been violated either physically or sexually by the age of 15. So these are girls, these are young girls who go on to become mothers, who go on to carry the burden of a family in their hands, but let alone they are members of this society. So and it's only a little thing that we have to do to stop it. It's just to if you make them aware, if they know where they are, it will stop this to a great deal. So we have had many programs in the past, and this year round also we are planning to do this project with the ladies from the Save Island area, but we are not stopping it at that point. We want to take it on further, empower them a little bit more, give them some life skills to bring them out of if they are in a situation of that nature, we can bring them out. But apart from that, we want to give them support to educate themselves and vocationally or some kind of life skill. And also apart from that, I think we are also excited. We have started working with architecture schools, and we have another program starting on the 25th of November, and where we have to actually teach the architecture students what this problem is, violence against women, because if you know that, they will know how to design buildings, public spaces around this factor, because as architecture students they are not trained in that manner to address this issue. So we will start that as well, and I want to continue that from our club as a project right throughout.
I think that is a wonderful initiative, because especially in Sri Lanka, this is certainly not something that's thought about. And to think that, with architecture, you can create spaces that make women feel safe is, I think, very important and certainly timely.
Exactly.
One thing when we were chatting earlier that I really liked, how you mentioned that what you do, it's not just about handouts, it's about empowering women.
Exactly.
Right. So can you tell me more about that? Why is the focus on?
Actually, empowerment is what brings everyone to where we are. If you take you for example, me for example, we are here because we are empowered one way or the other. So if you give handouts to a lady in distress, what would happen? They would learn to lean on that. They will never come out of their position, because they will be looked after or provided for. So it's not that we don't give handouts to, when it comes to certain scenarios, you need to, but that is not going to help you raise by yourself. So this is why empowerment is important, because you will raise yourself and people around you, ladies, gents, children, anybody, they will raise the others around you. So that's why empowerment is so important, and that's why Zonta is very keen on empowering women.
That is wonderful. I think, Farida, you had something to...
Yeah, no, what is most important is when you give somebody money, it ends where the money ends, as compared to when you teach them a skill or something where they can enhance their lifestyle. And I truly believe that women are the drivers of society. Even where there is a man in the house, it is the woman who leads the welfare of the family, and after that the entire society. So it's important to let her be able to support the family in a way that it's a long term, it's not a one off thing. So that's why most of our projects have actually, the tagline for this biennium is actually building a better life for women and children. So it's not only about giving and helping, it's about helping them build.
Exactly.
That is a lovely thought. Now, you collaborated with the ICCB. How did that come to be, the International Christmas Charity Bazaar?
Okay, so this actually started in 2016, where we launched our flagship project called ZEW, or Zonta Empowers Women, where it was a pilot project in the Madhu Church region, of north and east, because at that time those areas didn't have any source of livelihood. With they have a lot of problems there with drought, famine. They're not able to do agriculture because of the quality of the soil, lack of water. And so we took upon ourselves the challenge to teach them a skill. And we started off with 15 ladies who were taught how to sew. So we arranged for a teacher to go across. So this is like a 4.5-hour drive from Anuradhapura. So we had to get somebody from Anuradhapura to drive down to those areas. We provided them with all the kits, sewing machines, and they were taught to sew. Subsequently, we extended that project to other villages in that area. So we moved to Velioya, we moved to Nandimitragama, we moved to Bogasweva. We concentrated on the north and the east because they truly needed it, because they were far away from Colombo. Not much help reached them, and we saw the dire straits that they were in. Subsequently, these ladies learned to sew. They were making beautiful hand painted products, cushion covers, pouches, bags, skirts, clothes, but they didn't have a market for these. They didn't know how to market these products. They didn't know how to sell what they made. So, initially they would just go to the local market and sell at a piddly amount of 100-200 rupees, and that was it. And we realized that in Colombo they could fetch a better price for what they were making. And incidentally, at that time we got an opportunity with the ICCB to be able to sell at the Bazaar. We were given a table from them, and so we started off by bringing the products that were made by our zoo champions, and we sold it at the ICCB. Since 2018 we have been at the Bazaar, and to date we managed to we plan a year in advance, where we first actually source the material for them, because they are not, they have no idea about design, style, color, what would work, what looks nice. So we source the material. We sometimes even design it ourselves. We send it across to them to sew, and then it comes back to us, and it is sold at the ICCB every year. So even the last 2 years when we didn't have the physical bazaar, we sold it online, and the entire proceeds of what is sold is sent back to those ladies. So because the fabric is actually sourced by us from donors, so we don't have a cost attached to it, and hence we are able to give the entire cost back to the zoo champions. Subsequently, we extended the program from just stitching to candle making, as well as sandals. So just dependent. The entire program used to be based on the fact that what was required and what was saleable in that area for them as well as for us here in Colombo. We also opened a vocational training center at Nandimitragama for the ladies, where they could go across and sew, because many of them couldn't buy a machine, and so we provided a few machines for the vocational training center, and they would go there, stitch, and then give us the products to sell. So it has been a fantastic association with the ICCB for so many years, and we're very grateful for to them for giving us this opportunity. This year we actually are hoping to extend this beyond just giving them an opportunity to sell. We hope to use the proceeds from this year's sales for various projects. One, like Kamini mentioned, is the violence against women propaganda that we hope to have during the 16 days of activism. And we also have another project where we want to provide sanitary pads for school children. That is something which we hope to raise funds through the ICCB sales this year as well.
It is wonderful. Now Zonta, a lot of people have, I think, a misconception that since it deals with women's empowerment, that Zonta is filled with all females. But of course, there's opportunity for males to join as well.
Of course, there are few gentlemen who do quite well in the under the umbrella of Zonta.
That is fabulous. So how can people support your causes? How can they join? I'm sure a lot of people, when they know what you do, will be happy to support. How can they do that?
Well, they can reach us. We are on all the social media platforms. I think Farida can shed more light on it because she's looking after the PR aspect of our club as well as the entire district.
Oh, wow, that's lovely.
Yeah, so we are available on both Instagram and Facebook, and just a message, just a regular search. And in Sri Lanka, we have 4 clubs, 3 in Colombo and 1 in Kandy. So, I mean, if anyone would like to join, help build a better life for women and the girl child, please get in touch with any one of the clubs. You'll find us.
Thank you so much, Farida and Kamini, for joining us today, and excellent work done by you, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And December is the season of giving, and you have a wonderful opportunity to support some amazing organizations like the Zonta. So do visit on the 4th of December the International Christmas Charity Bazaar at the Golf Hotel from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.